We have an epic battle with Uber across the river going on for the last 3 years. Well, if these people inside this house cared for us and did their job, did their duty, we wouldn't have to go across the river today. And that's a real shame. That's a real shame. Now, TfL licensed minicab drivers. They've allowed the number of licenses to double in the past few years. We now have 110,000 minicab drivers, and Transport for London is following a scorched earth policy where drivers cannot afford to make a living, but they're making a killing on licence fees from us. Transport for London collects 73% of their revenue for taxi and private hire for minicab drivers. And do you think they allow us trade union representation? No, they do not. They refuse it. They lock us out all the time. There are, of the 110,000 minicab drivers, 94% of them are BME, and 71% of them come from disadvantaged neighbourhoods in London. That's TfL's own data. And yet they lock us out of there. 25,000 black cab drivers, 80% of whom are white British, have their choice of representation of 5 separate organisations. Now I say to you, if we had trade union representation as licence payers in this House, we would not have had half the problems we've had with Uber and Addison Lee and all the rest. So we're demanding our trade union representation, despite all our suffering here. £5 an hour, working 90 hours a week. That's what the average minicab driver does. It takes you 30, 35 hours a week just to break even. And you got to work 90 hours to make any money at all. And what do Transport for London want to do now? They want to lift the congestion charge exemption for private hire drivers, and the average minicab driver will have to pay this House another £250 a month. That's absolutely unacceptable for people who are working in Victorian sweated labour conditions. We say that's unfair, that's enough. And we're going to ask the Transport for London to stop that. And I want you to back us in that request also. Thank you. And the final thing I want to say is that we have got a Labour Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. He promised to be the mayor for all people. He promised to protect workers. And here we have, and he has done nothing to protect us as exploited workers by Uber. He took Uber's licence last year, and there were 6 reasons why he took their licence, but none of them had anything to do with worker rights. And in doing that, he has encouraged this business model in London, because there's more votes in cheap cab fares than there are in protecting 120,000 marginalised workers in this cab trade. That's a scandal, and the Mayor of London and Heidi Alexander need to act as well on this. That we've had enough of that. We need the Mayor to stand up, make a political choice to support exploited workers, and not just us, all of you as well. Because what happens to us happens to you, what happens to you happens to us. And this solidarity that we have here today means so much.